Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. First sketch of today's video will be a westbound empty windmill train with a fairly cool. The next day while biking around town, I caught a CSX Gevo as a mid-DPU on a northbound manifest. The next day, my good friend BNSF Rail Fan 01 told me that a fake bonnet duo would be going down the Transcon on a westbound Grand Train. I immediately started calculating how long it would take for it to get to Emporia, but I wouldn't end up catching it in Emporia. I'd catch it in Cassaday, because it ended up going a little bit faster than I expected, and Cassaday was my last resort, but it didn't turn out too bad. Anyways, the first train we would catch while waiting would be an eastbound Z train. Nicely, about 15 minutes later after that Z passed, I saw headlights for a westbound, which ended up being the fake bonnet duo. After it passed, I started to pick up my things, and then I saw green for a westbound, which ended up being an intermodal. Next up is a westbound grader, with nothing too special on the head end, but the rear DPU is a Gevo, BNSF 7622, the one and only Gevo with purple lettering on the nose. After that grain train went by, I packed up and headed on home. On my way home, though, I'd see a tied-down UP grainer from the highway. A few days later, I catch a southbound manifest with quite the lash up on the head end. An SD70 Ace Leader, a rebuilt AC6000 second, and an SD70M third. About 2 days later, I caught an eastbound intermodal at a diamond. After that, I didn't go rail fanning for about a week, because I had plans to go up to Topeka, Kansas to look around BNSF's locomotive shops. Once I got to Topeka, I went over the bridge by the locomotive shops, where I spotted a war bonnet, which ended up being 636. After I got done taking photos of 636, I went back over the bridge, and I looked down, and I see another war bonnet, so I moved over to the west end of the shops to get some good photos. It ended up being BNSF 647, one of Galesburg, Illinois' resident yard switcher war bonnets. I was wondering why I was all the way down here in Kansas, and I was looking at my photos, and I saw I had some damage on the engineer's side. While I was looking at my photos of 647, I noticed that there was another war bonnet in frame, and not being able to clearly see the number, I went back over the bridge to find out which one it was. It ended up being 655, a war bonnet I saw way back in 2022. Nice to see it still out and about and not repainted or rebuilt. After getting ground photos, I decided to walk up the bridge and try to get better photos of 636 and 655, which I do, and I also get another photo of 647. Another surprise catch would be BNSF 109, a former Santa Fe GP6DM, a fake bonnet, and an H1. After that, I decided to head over to BNSF's East Topeka deadline, where the first thing I'd catch would be a Burlington Northern duo. The next thing I would catch would be BNSF 570, a standard cab B40-8. I thought this thing would have been scrapped several years ago. Nice to see it's still around. The next thing that I'd catch would be BNSF 1447, Cascade Green SD60M, which happens to be a sibling to BNSF 1446. A quite notable Cascade Green SD60M that has been in the power pool around my area for a while now. Has also claimed the name Greenie Weenie, for reasons I still don't understand. After that, I found a pair of Jeeps, Cascade Green and Santa Fe Blue Bonnet. After being involved in a wreck several years back, they were moved up here for storage, with an unknown fate. After that, I went to my doctor's appointment. Then I got word once again from my good friend BNSF Railfan 01 that CPKC's Christmas train would be at Kansas City in about 2 hours. Knowing that, we started talking about spots I could go, since I don't know much about the Kansas City area. Shortly after getting to the spot I chose, I saw a green for an eastbound, and it ended up being a Norfolk Southern light power move with a rare Norfolk Southern -9 trailing second. About 15 minutes after that power move went by, I saw headlights and a whole lot of different colors, which means the Christmas train's on the way. After catching it at this spot, I asked BNSF Railfan is there any other places I could catch it, and he gave me directions to Airline Junction. This is where I would get to see them pull forward past the switch, watch dispatch line it, and see them back into CPKC's Kanoki yard.
hope it's not in vain.
About 4 days later, as I was biking home from school, since I hate the school bus and it gives me the ability to see more trains. Anyways, as I was biking home, I would catch Union Pacific 1995 as a mid DPU on a southbound manifest. Then I raced home and grabbed my camera gear and biked south of town to catch it in a better spot. After catching 1995 in that spot, I decided to bike north of town where I'd catch ex Southern Pacific 6310 leading the cutted cars in the yard. After that, I didn't catch anything too special for a while, but while watching the Wichita rail cam, I saw an eastbound manifest with an H1-9 and an executive Mac. So naturally, I decided to go for it. I get to the tracks and I see a green signal. I'm like, awesome, don't have to wait very long. and then I see headlights round the curve just west of me. So I have to hop out of the car and do a handheld phone video. Then I chased it about 15 miles east to a crossing, which didn't look half bad, but then my camera settings ended up being out of whack and the photos turned out too dark. You know what that means. Back to the car for another 15 miles, get to a crossing, have about 3 minutes to get my tripod level, get my camera settings right, and the photos ended up looking really good. Well, that was supposed to be the end of the video, but then I caught Union Pacific 1111 leading a southbound manifest, so I figured I had to put it in the video. Well, that's all for now. Hope y'all enjoyed this 200 subscribers / Christmas special. Let's shoot for 500 subscribers by February. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Till next time.